But you need to practice on what you have to do, and you have to box. So you should do as much boxing as possible leading up to the fight. You're hitting the bag, right? I see you hitting them when you walk. I want you to do like this one. Boom, 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 boom. You keep boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2.
Man, picture Mike Tyson frozen in his seat, eyes wide like he's witnessing a scene straight from a horror film. That was his look watching Terence "Bud" Crawford grind through this brutal, unforgiving training camp for Canelo.
In the ring before, he knows the in and out about fighting, and it's just that we had to transfer that because he's using his legs and elbows and everything, grabbing. So we kind of, I don't know, did a new foundation and made him more elusive. You know, made him more elusive. He throws his punches with just bad intention.
Tyson looked shaken, almost lost, like, hold on, I thought I was the savage. But this guy's training like he's gearing up to wrestle a grizzly in the wild. Crawford isn't just working the bag. He's making it echo like thunder, gliding with the reflexes of a lightweight, yet striking with heavyweight power. Even Iron Mike had to stop, realizing Bud might be the rare fighter insane enough to twist the rules of the fight game and march straight into the Canelo fire without a flicker of fear.
Straight away with Crawford, and so did Spence. I mean, other people that we've spoken to, I think Paul Smith and other people that sit on the show with us think it will be Canelo Alvarez because of size. We've seen Canelo Alvarez take that journey up to light heavy and find himself coming up against Dimitri Bivol and not being able to do what he does at super middleweight. I just think that Crawford is such a fighter of such stature and competence that he might just be the kryptonite to Soul.
Man, Tyson might be rattled by Bud's savage grind, but Crawford is laughing through all the chatter. He basically shrugged. Bring in the Avengers, the Justice League, the Power Rangers. It still won't matter. They are not me. And he's right. Doesn't matter if Canelo brings Batman to work the mitts or Iron Man to handle his conditioning. You can't install Bud's program. His code isn't written in this fight game system.
You know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. I meant that. You know.
He straight up told us, I've been the underdog my whole life. And that's not a complaint, it's a war cry. That's Bud saying, keep doubting me. I'll keep dismantling your heroes. And when he dropped that his not me line about Ennis, it wasn't just a jab. It was a funeral bell tolling for anyone foolish enough to imitate his style.
Not me, you know, as much as a lot of people, you know, say we have similarities and, you know, we switch a lot, fight a lot, he's not me, you know, and I'm not him, so.
This man's out here sparring heavyweights like it's just another Friday afternoon, collecting legacy fights like they're trading cards, and still calm as ice. If Bud talking doesn't get your blood pumping, then maybe boxing was never your thing. Better grab some golf, sit quiet, and clap with the crowd.
I've always been sparring bigger fighters my whole career. This is nothing new. This is nothing different. The heavyweights, super middleweights, light heavyweights. I've been sparring these type of guys my whole career, so it's nothing.
And right as Bud was leaning heavy into that his not me energy, Ryan Garcia jumped in with his own spin. In a fresh Twitter session, King Outright didn't bite his tongue. He flat out said he could picture Crawford getting iced, Amir Khan style. That's wild, because Ryan ain't whispering. His blasting like the caps lock is welded down. He tossed Bud a little credit. Sure, but you can feel where his money's sitting, and it's riding on Canelo without hesitation.
Give Terence Crawford any chance to beat Canelo?
I don't see it happening, but he could definitely prove me wrong. But I just think, bro, like, I mean, I've trained with Canelo, I've been around him. Bro can really push back heavyweight.
And honestly, when Ryan says, I've trained with Canelo, bro can push back heavyweights, it sounds less like boxing and more like describing a video game boss. Picture stepping in against Canelo on God mode. No cheat codes, no shortcuts. You just get overwhelmed. Ryan even noted it's the first time in years where Canelo walks in as the true bigger man, and with that kind of freedom to throw without worrying about size. That's pure danger. He admitted flat out, he can't wait for the fight.
So I'm actually interested to see, bro. I can't wait for the fight. I'm definitely going to be backing Canelo, but, you know, Crawford is a great fighter and he could surprise me. But right now where I would put my money is Canelo.
He's leaning toward Canelo. Sure, But he didn't lock the door. Crawford could still flip the script and shock the world. And that's the beauty here. When even fighters can't predict it with full certainty, you know something rare is coming. Then came the twist. Crawford doubled down, saying this one stands apart because of the weight, the legacy, and the fact that two first ballot Hall of Famers are colliding for undisputed glory.
All my life.
All your life?
I've been an underdog all my life. Just watch the fight and see. You know, Canelo got a granite chin. He's been hurt before, but, you know, he have been hit cleanly and he took it real well. And, you know, anything is possible.
He lined it up with the Thriller in Manila. Only this time, the stakes feel even heavier. Think of it as boxing Super Bowl. No halftime show, unless you count Canelo's walk to the ring. And remember, Crawford's been sharpening himself against giants for years. Super middleweights, light heavies, even heavyweights, but turning sparring sessions into open MIC night inside Godzilla's gym. And when he mentioned Shakur rolling through camp, that's Bud passing down knowledge to the next generation while still carving out his own chapters in history. Cold-blooded, like showing your little brother the ropes in Mario Kart while you're out there dominating an actual Formula One circuit.
You know, need all the help that, you know, he's getting, but I'm happy that he's getting the help that he needs because, you know, after, you know, September 13th, there'll be no excuse.
After Crawford dropped his whole "Bring the Avengers, it don't matter" speech, in comes Eddie Hearn, sliding in like the professor of boxing business, only with that promoter swagger. And Eddie didn't sugarcoat it. He laid it out plain. This fight is about two legends closing out their runs. The real question, whether Bud can carry the big boy weight at 168. He even admitted Canelo's legs don't look the same anymore. But Crawford's IQ, off the charts. Eddie basically spelled it out. If Bud stays slick, keeps elusive, blocks out the noise, he could copy the Bible's oldest blueprint, and if Canelo swinging at shadows, fighting a ghost that won't stand still.
I think if Terence Crawford decides to box elusively in this fight, I think he's going to really have success. When he gets hit, that's really the million-dollar question. How can he hang at 168?
But then Eddie flipped the script. He said, Canelo's still my guy, but I'm leaning Bud. That's wild, because promoter loyalty usually runs deeper than blood. Yet Eddie switched sides over coffee like he was choosing between Starbucks or Dunkin'. And then he dug deeper. He pulled out the resumes. Crawford's skill, pound for pound elite. But his win column doesn't scream generational great the way it should. Eddie even pressed him on his best victory. And Bud said Ricky Burns. That's like a rapper swearing their hardest verse came on some forgotten mixtape nobody even bothered to stream.
So, you know, but Crawford, the reason I put Crawford so high on the pound for pound list is because of his ability. I think he's brilliant. But I still don't think it's not his fault, but I don't think he's quite got the resume that he could have had if the era was a little bit different. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Eddie's point came through crystal clear. Talent-wise, Crawford's one of the coldest ever to lace up gloves. But this Canelo fight, that's the one that could carve his name into history. And if he pulls it off, forget generational great. You might have to start whispering all-time problem. Then, right after Eddie broke it down like a boxing professor sipping lattes, boom, Tyson Fury storms in with that Gypsy King energy, basically saying, if Bud believes in himself, then go for it, mate. Fury didn't play analyst, didn't overthink it. He just kept it raw. Two elite fighters, two very different styles, both great in their own right, and he'd be the first one lining up to buy that pay-per-view.
Crawford wanting to fight Canelo Alvarez, moving up 3 weight classes. What do you make of it, and is it a good idea for him to do that?
I think it's a good fight. I think, listen, everybody can do what they want to do, and if he believes in himself, then go for it. Why?
That's Fury in a nutshell. The man could be squaring up with his own shadow in the mirror and still grin. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? And honestly, that's the same pulse Bud's carrying into this. Sometimes you don't need endless strategy. You just need that unshakable belief. I can shock the world. Fury co-signing Bud's leap to 168 feels like the heavyweight king stamping your passport. If he says go, you already know the risk is massive, but so is the reward. And that's the crazy part. Fury's stamp makes the whole fight feel bigger, like he's daring Bud to roll the dice with the sport's biggest shark. It's almost like Fury saying, I respect the danger, because danger is what greatness demands. And let's be real, when Tyson Fury, a man who built his legacy on shocking the world, tells you to take the gamble, it means that gamble might be the very one that pays off.
I think he's an awesome fighter. Both of them are. Both of them are exceptional fighters. And I would be one of the people paying for a pay-per-view to watch it. I don't really have a favourite. I like both fighters. Both very different skill fighters in their own ways.
Crawford saying is not me. Eddie Hearn breaking down the chessboard. Tyson Fury telling Bud to roll the dice. Man, this fight's got every angle locked. You've got the fighter's fire, the promoter's brain, and the heavyweight king's wild stamp of approval. Now it's on us to sit back and watch history breathe in real time. Because this ain't just another fight. It's a moment that could flip the whole pound-for-pound debate upside down. So drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know. Are you rocking with Bud or riding with Canelo? And as always, like, share, and subscribe for more.